Okay, so picking up where I left off at the end of part 1, this is retraining part 2, and I've turned her to the right. I'm asking her to go to the right now, and as you can see, she turned herself around. So I went back up there and asked her again, and she's doing it, but she's not like this. And see, she turned around, then she ran right through my whip. So I'm going to go cut across the ring and get in front of her, and that'll turn her back the other way. Again, I'm not putting a lot of pressure here because we want to do this with as little pressure as possible. Got to be patient. You just keep, if she tries to turn, then you turn her back with as little pressure as possible. Notice I'm just dragging the whip. I'm not even waving it at her. I'm just kind of following her around. But she has already done this before, where she was led, to the right. She ran through the whip again, and run back over there, cross the ring and get in front of her, and then I can turn her. If she keeps running through the whip, then I'll just keep running across the ring, and I'll add more and more pressure, but it's not necessary right now because she's responding and turning when I ask her to. So now she's still going to the right. And she's decided, well, I guess it's not worth it to try to turn around. I'll just go ahead and go. So this is a step backwards from trying to do it with a rope on. This is a step backwards where you're just free schooling. I told her to whoa right there, and she did, which was good. And I was going to get the rope and put it back on her. She started walking. I'm not going to worry about that because I picked up a rope and waved it at her, so that's natural. So now I'm going to try it again with the rope on. It should be the very same thing, but you know how it is with horses. What you think is easy and what they think is easy and should be no problem, they just don't want to cooperate sometimes. As you may be anticipating, she's not going to cooperate. See how she's trying to turn back, get her head past me. The minute I put the rope on, she's got a lot of baggage. Ideas from the past. It makes it a lot harder than if she'd never been lunged in her life. It would be easier to do than undoing her old ideas. So I'm going to go back to leading her to the right, going back down the step ladder. I'm getting took her over to where I could get the lunge whips, what I was doing there. And I'm still going to be trying to get her to go past me. If you'll recall from the first video, this is kind of where we left off with this going to the right. So I've decided, well, I'm going to go back down the ladder just one step. I'm going to go back down and ask her to go on the ropes to the left on the lunge line. And I'm asking her to do that. She's not wanting to go forward. So we're getting quite a bit of resistance. But she's kind of doing it. There she goes. So you see, after a while now, she goes turning herself out and turning in to face me. So I'm going to go back to trying to get her to go past me. I have the whip behind her butt as much as I can. But she's just doing those turns of flipping her butt out, doing those turns, facing me. So I'm going to take up the line. I'm going to get close to her. What happened there, the reason I'm taking extra time, is the rope came undone from the snap, and I had to reattach it before I could continue with this session. There, I think we're ready now. So she's still turning her butt. She's even got her head on the other side of me. So I'm going to use this whip, just tapping her on the neck, giving her some good, not hard, but just annoying tap, 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 tap. So I'm backing off a little bit. There, she finally did it. All that tapping on the neck. And she finally said, well, if you're going to annoy me the rest of my life, I might as well just yield. And so she did. And of course, I'm giving her a lot of praise right now, telling her what a good girl she is. I immediately stopped the pressure as soon as she did what I wanted. That is so important, that you stop the pressure instantly the minute you get just a little bit of give, because that's how they learn this is what you want, and it has to be consistent. Otherwise, they get all confused. Of course, I really don't mind if she walks. I kind of prefer that she does. So we're going back to the right at this point. So you see we've gone back down the steps, back down. That's the way you have to do. You go up and down, forward and back, up those steps and back down. Okay, so she's doing pretty well. See, I'm giving her a lot of praise. Whenever the horse is doing what you want to be sure that you give them some, especially in these early training stages, they need a lot of praise. They need as much praise as they get pressure. So, okay, now to the right with the line at this point. I'm going to try. She did the lunge line to the left pretty well. So we're going to try it to the right now. This is the goal of this session. And when you have an agenda, you just have to always remember that you may not achieve that agenda. You may have to go back down the steps and just get halfway there or 3/4 of the way there. And then when you come back in the next session, you'll find that you're doing better. Okay, now I'm giving her some good taps on the neck that say, go away from me, go over toward the rail, and I'm pulling her with the ropes. And she has to learn it on both sides, so I'm giving her the same thing she got the other way. These taps on the neck. Okay, let's see, there she goes. All right, more taps on it. There we go. Now, I just decreased the pressure a little bit until she said, okay, I'm going to do this. And success. This is something this horse has never been willing to do before. I've been working with her about 35 minutes. See, she tried to turn in. I tapped her on the neck. And then she said, oh, okay, I guess I better not be trying to turn around. See, she's already had experience with me with trying to turn around. So at this point, we're prepared for that. We're ready. Now I'm telling her to whoa. And I'm going to give her a lot of praise right there. So we're back out. Let me feel right what I'm doing here. Like, come on. You gotta go to the right. Let's go to the right. You can do it. Tap, tap, tap. And there she goes. Now, mission accomplished. So in this case, all the sliding up and down the steps, not rushing her, being patient. Now she's just walking. I asked her to trot on out, and then I told her, just walk. That's good. Doing great. Doing great. And whoa. Good girl. What a good girl. What a good girl. Okay, a little bit more. See, she went right back out. Each time it gets easier. There she goes again. Now that's as nice a lunge as you would want your horse to do. Back to the walk. Good girl. All right. Yes. Big hug, Bella. That was beautiful.